back to the Movie Closet, episode 44.
44.
Yee boy. Matt, what is the Movie Closet?
The Movie Closet is for people picking movies based on themes. We pitch those movies. We vote on those movies. The winner, we watch it and discuss it. We keep it simple.
Simple, clean, quick. Sam, what's this week's theme? Your idea. What is it?
It's not very original, but it is movies based off of books, which I'm surprised we haven't done yet.
Yeah, I am too, actually.
So
It's
it's
a good
pretty
one.
typical theme.
Yeah.
Lots of choices.
Well,
lots of
we're not
directions,
typical in the closet.
I suppose.
Though, tonight we do have a typical day in the closet. We're back with the usual crew.
Yep,
Yeah.
the
Matt,
original four.
Sammy, Ben, Bass.
Yeah, I got to cross out special guest from the notes here.
Yeah,
who is gonna-
Alexis.
Oh,
You
wow.
fucker!
Yeah, well, it's funny because I know that Alexis will definitely listen to this because I feel like she
Is
Like-
our only loyal fan.
Yeah, she listens to. She was telling us she listens to like all our episodes. She listens to us on a regular basis, which is
At
cool.
work.
What the fuck?
What the fuck, Alexis?
Yeah, so she'll
we
definitely hear
scheduled
this.
you to come on our
Yeah.
show,
We
reserved
picked-
you a
yeah.
seat and a mic, and you don't show.
We picked you the time
Ugh,
today for
tisk,
you
tisk.
because of you, and you just fucking bail.
What the
fuck?
fuck?
Once you enter the closet, you can't just leave. Blood in, blood out.
Wow,
We gotta-
Lex.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway,
Cold blooded. All right. Well, this week's theme, the books, movies based off books, as was mentioned. Who wants to go first?
I want to go first. I've been going first lately. I like it. So I'm picking fucking Stephen King. I'm picking The Secret Window, which is based off of a short story called The Secret Window, The Secret Garden, I think. Anyway, starring Johnny Depp and the guy from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I think that's what he's most known for.
The fucking do not seek the treasure guy?
Yeah.
Do not seek the treasure.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
his name, but yeah, that guy, he's cool. Anyway, Johnny Depp plays this character named Mort, who is an author, and he's going through a really bad divorce. And to get his like mental state back on the right track, he moves up to this cabin in upstate New York for solitude, like in the middle of nowhere, to try and write his next story and try to like I said, get his mental state back on track. And everything's going pretty good. He's kind of having a hard time figuring out shit to write, but he's working on it. And all of a sudden, this guy,
John Turturro.
John Turturro, that's his name, yeah.
I looked it up.
Nice. Thank you for that. John Turturro's character plays this farmer who is accusing Johnny Depp's character Mort of plagiarizing one of his stories. And Johnny Depp's like, what the fuck you talking about, man? Whatever. And after a while, John Turturro's character starts warning him. He's like, if you don't make things right, shit's gonna hit the fan. And eventually, long story short, shit hits the fan. And
Because he blamed him of plagiarism, right? Did you say that?
yeah, I said that.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I was not listening.
Oh, it's all right. Yeah, he blames him of plagiarism. Johnny Depp ignores it, and then shit hits the fan. And the entire movie is Johnny Depp dealing with all this shit that John Turturro's character is doing to him.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a dark one, mind fucked one. It's good. Yeah.
This-
And I was trying to find if there were like any interesting facts about it, and there is an interesting fact. There's a scene in this movie that the director used B-roll film from Jurassic Park: The Lost World.
what?
There's a shot in this movie. I think it's like a scene where Johnny Depp is trying to sleep, and they have like a shot of the ocean, and it's B-roll footage from a Jurassic Park movie.
Oh,
I thought that was kind of
shit.
interesting. So if we watch it, look out for that.
Yeah, this is like one of the first movies I can remember watching that did fuck my mind.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, I just wanted to pick because I was originally thinking about picking The Shining, which is a classic masterpiece, but a little too long. I just wanted to pick something short and sweet and like straight to it, easy film to watch.
But hey, you gotta admit that last scene with fucking
Jack
Nick-
Nicholson.
yeah, Jack Nicholson at the end where he's like a frozen Nicholson
No,
popsicle.
yeah, I was-
That's fucking funny, but
Nicholson.
Yeah, no, that movie's great. That
Yeah,
movie's
yeah.
fucking awesome.
no, I was just kind
A
of agreeing with you,
Nickelsicle.
but
Nickelsicle.
Nickelsicle.
Yeah, but I just picked this one because
Yeah.
you know, it's short, it's sweet, it's straight to the point. It dives right into some cool ass shit, and it's a mind fuck. You know,
Yeah. I mean,
easy movie to watch.
I'm personally a big fan of
King.
Stephen King.
Yeah,
I've read
yeah.
a lot of his books. I've seen a lot of his movies.
Truly a genius.
Many
Definitely.
leather-bound books.
Truly a genius.
He also, if I'm right, like cameos in a lot of his movies.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does.
Does he have a cameo in this one?
No, I don't believe so.
Alright.
All right.
Yep.
Secret window.
Secret window.
Sam, you want to go? You
Yeah.
never go second.
I guess I'll go.
Do it.
I am repitching a movie that I pitched a really long time ago last summer.
one?
Yeah.
Remix.
I don't remember what the theme was, but
Take Two.
I pitched it back when we were pitching to Matt, and he did not choose it.
You
And
fucker.
I was really sad.
Sorry.
But
wrong with you?
I'm have a chance to pitch it again, and it is The Dangerous Life of Altar Boys.
We didn't watch that one?
Mm-mm. No, I don't think so. And it's from 2002. It has Emile Hirsch, Jodie Foster, Jenna Malone. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, but it's either Kieran or Kyron Culkin.
Oh, Culkin
Culkin.
boy.
Culkin boy, the best.
Is Jenna Malone
Love it.
related to Post Malone?
Yes,
Yes.
they're.
Little known fact.
I don't know actually.
Yeah.
But yeah. The basic story of this is there's a group of boys in a Catholic school, and they like to draw. Okay, I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. They draw their own comic books and do like this whole story, and they all create characters and with like superpowers and whatever, and the villain, they do like a collective story, and the villain is their teacher, I guess, which is Jodie Foster's character, and she's a nun, and they make her like super evil and everything, and it's really cool. And yeah, so there's like little scenes where it's animated, and it's like the comic book in action, I guess, which is really cool. Definitely interesting. But so basically the whole thing is like Jodie Foster's character like finds their comic books or whatever, and like finds the one about her, and then gives them all detention and whatever, and then they are
Fucked up.
seeking revenge, essentially. And then there's other stuff. There's like side stories with Emile Hirsch and Jenna Malone being all lovey-dovey, and it's really sweet. But yeah, I really think you guys would like it.
Yeah, it's the classic like nostalgic movie, like, you know, kids being kids. It makes you think of like when you're a fucking kid,
Yeah,
doing your thing, just fucking around with your friends,
doing dumb shit.
drawing all these fucking pictures. It was very nostalgic for me watching it because like I used to make comic strips all the time and shit, so it really related to
Yeah,
it.
it reminded me a lot of what you were telling me about it.
Just fucking around with your friends, drawing stupid shit.
Hmm. And it's really
Boobs.
cool because it's like Emile Hirsch, which is one of my favorite actors, and he's super young. It's probably the youngest that I've ever seen him because it's in 2002.
How old are they supposed to be in this movie?
Probably
middle
like
school, right?
probably like 7th, 8th grade, maybe like 6th, 7th, 8th grade.
Young
say, like,
teens.
Yeah, like 13, I think. And so, yeah, there's some pretty fucked up shit that happens. Very, very dramatic, even though it seems pretty lighthearted at the beginning. A lot of like crazy shit happens, and like I didn't expect it the first time that I watched it, but I
All
really,
because of like wanting to get revenge on this teacher.
yeah, all because of wanting to get revenge.
Yeah, you think
So
you would like nurture that kind of creativity in kids.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
But
even
since-
though you find like either you're the villain of their story,
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd still be like, "Oh man, it's fucking cool."
Yeah.
yeah.
it's-
But you have to like
creative.
think like it's very, very Catholic
Yeah, so
school,
it's
and
strict.
she's like a nun, like she's a nun, and she's very like
It's the devil.
yeah, basically. So it's
Yeah.
It's not very encouraged.
If she's a smart nun, she wouldn't say anything until they get famous from this comic book. And then she can sue them for using her likeness.
I
Yep.
guess.
That'll
it's-
show them.
Yeah, it's really cool. Coming of age a little bit.
For sure.
So, yeah.
Right on.
Nostalgia.
And I just actually discovered that it was based off of a book. We were at Goodwill.
Yeah, and we found
and
the
we
book.
found it, and I was like, "Whoa, shit!"
Yeah, and the
That's
cover,
cool.
the
That's
cover
pretty
of the
cool.
book is really cool because it's referencing like the early Tales from the Crypt comics, like the EC comics. Like it looks like the cover of one of those comic strips, and I feel like it's referencing the fact that when those comic books were coming out, like parents were like super against them, and they were like banned from kids, and like a bunch of parents had like a hissy fit over them
Yep.
because of the content. So they're trying to ban them, and I feel like it was like referencing that because their fucking comic book
Yeah.
that they were making.
That
'Cause of
was
the
like what
story.
spawned the comic authority seal or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
that Marvel started.
Yeah. So I feel like they were like obviously referencing that, and I thought that was cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's cool
Yeah.
shit.
So
Isn't that neat?
I think you like it.
All right. I'll go next. My film based off a book is based off a graphic novel.
Ooh.
Nice segue from comic book.
Yeah, there you go. Setting you up.
I'm pitching Watchmen, 2009.
Ooh.
Very controversial movie.
Oh, I didn't know this.
But I mean, not. It's just by the fact of it's very divided on half the people think it sucks and the other half think it's one of the greatest ever made. But yeah, it's based off Watchmen, which was written by Alan Moore, who's like a genius comic book
Fucking
writer.
love you, Alan Moore.
Yeah, he did like fucking Sandman, and all I can think of is Sandman right now. But many others. Oh, and then he did like Batman. He did the Killing Joke,
Yeah.
Okay.
which is a big one too. But
Nice.
this was his biggest one, and it was drawn by Dave Gibbons. He's pretty big too, and it was made in 1987, and widely considered the best graphic novel ever made.
Wow.
And it was such a huge deal when they were making a movie. Directed by Zack Snyder, another controversial figure. He did like 300, Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Sucker Punch. I think he did.
Yeah.
Great cast. You got Billy Crudup, he was in Alien Covenant. He was the religious leader guy.
Oh shit. Okay.
That was
Yeah.
Billy Crudup. Let's see, Jackie Earl Haley. He was Freddy Krueger in the newest Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah?
right. That's right. He plays the ink blotch guy, right?
Yeah, Rorschach. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like Rorschach. Like
Yeah,
one of
he's
my
the
favorite
shit.
Yeah.
characters.
Pretty much based off Batman. Just he kills.
Yeah.
So, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He's in Walking Dead right now. He's the villain of Walking Dead. He's a pretty great actor.
Nice.
He was Bruce Wayne's dad in Batman vs Superman at the opening credits.
Nice.
And Patrick Wilson from Insidious, the dad from Insidious, is
Oh.
in this.
Oh yeah.
Oh
that's
shit.
right.
That's right. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot.
Also,
Also plays the pedophile in Hard Candy. That's
yeah,
all I
like the
can think of.
pedophile in
Love
Hard
it.
Candy.
Matt's over like hard candy.
Hard, so hard.
Hard. Wait, what did you say?
Hard on.
Hard on.
Yeah, hard on.
Funny vote.
Oh fuck, that will live in infamy.
Funny.
But so yeah, it's basically this alternate 1985 in America, this alternate kind of universe where superheroes have existed and they have been outlawed by the government, with the exception of a few who work as an arm of the government. And one of the former heroes, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character, the comedian, is murdered, and he was one of them that stayed active, and he was like an agent for the government, like a hitman pretty much. And that leads Rorschach to come, who's still active against the law, like he's running from the cops while he's doing this shit because superheroes have been outlawed, and he's basically trying to solve this murder because he thinks someone's picking off masked superheroes, and he's trying to figure out who killed this guy, all in the face of like fucking nuclear Armageddon is on the
On the
brink.
line.
Like
Yeah.
everyone's at odds with each other. Nixon is still president in this universe, and he's on his like 4th term.
Yeah, it's like
Damn.
Cold War era.
Yeah, like the Cold War never ended, basically. And yeah, so it's basically a murder mystery, very noir, very
Yeah, it really is.
yeah, very cool. Asks a lot of deep ass questions, like
Yeah.
what does it mean to be free? You get like that kind of gods and men aspect, which is one of my
Oh.
favorite themes, and and they always talk about like what's right against what's the greater good.
Yeah.
Like, do you do what's right or do you do what the
benefits.
greater good
Yeah.
is?
Yeah, I really. I think that's my favorite character of this story is the fucking blue guy, the guy that's like,
Dr. Manhattan.
yeah, Dr. Manhattan,
It-
who's like essentially God.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
he's like so all powerful, fucking, and
What's super cool about Manhattan is his like what he does when he kills people. He like turns their molecular structure like inside out.
Yeah, he just
and-
vaporizes.
Yeah,
them.
it's
Yeah.
just so cool looking.
Yeah, and like everyone's got a really great story arc in this. Every
Yeah, really.
character. And it's pretty impressive how they fit it all into a movie.
yeah, there's a lot of depth to it. Definitely, probably, in my opinion, one of the most interesting superhero movies and just superhero stories. You know,
Yeah.
it's so based, and it's just really cool. It's like based in real life. You know,
Yeah, it's cool too because Dr. Manhattan's the only one with actual powers.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the guy who plays Adrian Veidt,
yeah,
he's the smartest man alive. So that's kind of like a
that's power.
superpower.
Yeah,
Because like he catches a bullet at one point because
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
like can predict where it's gonna go.
yeah, that's
But
cool.
but yeah, all the other heroes don't have powers, but they kind of they are a bit superhuman strength
Yeah,
by the things they can do.
right.
And like you can really see it in Batman vs Superman, how Batman does like find a kind of like superhuman shit. Like when he whips the crate with one arm. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
kind of see some of that in this movie, which
Yeah.
kind of carried over, which
For
I
su-
think helped him get that gig.
Oh, I'm sure because it also like I was about to say, it's also interesting. Like both Zack Snyder films are like real world takes on like superhero. Like if there was actually superheroes in the world, like I feel like this would
Yeah.
actually happen. You know, it would be super controversial. They would want to be outlawed. I'm sure of
Mhm.
it. You know,
And say what you will about Batman vs Superman, how it looks visually. This story was fucking tailor made for Zack Snyder's
Oh yeah.
vision.
yeah,
Like
for
how
sure.
how he stylizes the way like the fucking like overlays he puts on his videos.
yeah. His movies are very stylized. That is cool. It's always cool when directors have like a you know that's a
Yeah,
Zack
it's like a
Snyder
signature,
movie.
yeah.
you know, yeah. it's
I feel
his movie.
like Zach was. I feel like if you go back to some of his early movies like Sucker Punch, like he had a lot of stuff going on there, and I think that like starting there and working his way up, you can definitely see his improvement and him refining his stylization and how he's actually applying his After Effects and filters and everything.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, he's like what he's really good at is taking panels from comic books and making them into film.
yeah,
Like he's a fucking epic shot guy. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he's not a big story guy. That's why you get someone else to write the script.
yeah,
He can make those badass shots that you want.
yeah, for
He-
sure.
He's the. Everyone's gonna hate me for this, but he's like the Michael Bay.
Oh no. Dude, when I was in Michigan, we had a pretty funny Michael Bay discussion because we were watching Armageddon with some of my friends, and they were like, half of us were like, Michael Bay sucks, and the other half was like, he whoops, and we were going through all his fucking movies and shit. And then one of my friends confused Pearl Harbor with fucking Saving Private Ryan. We were like, how the fuck
But-
can you mix those up?
But both of those movies are fucking great.
Yeah, Michael Bay aside, yeah, and like Alan Moore, like would not, he didn't want his name on this movie. So,
Really?
yeah, like he didn't
Huh.
he didn't like it. But he seems like the type of guy that wouldn't like anything, fucking adapted to film of his. But,
yeah,
he wouldn't. I think they did a fine job. They did change the. Can't believe I forgot to mention this. They changed the ending. The comic book ending is different from the film ending, but I personally like the film ending better.
Mm.
I think it works better. But I mean, it also comes from in the comic a bunch of they had like a bunch of like side story shit,
Oh yeah.
and like that's what leads up to the ending of the story. But they had to take all that shit out of the movie. Like there's a fucking whole chapter in there from it's like an excerpt from the original Night Owls. He wrote an autobiography in this universe. And there's like a whole chapter of that book in this comic book.
Shit. Hey, Zach, if you're listening, I have a really cool idea. Go back, redo the movie, but make it like a mini series movie, kind of like what's that, like 12-part war movie.
Dude, I think HBO is gonna make this a series. I
Ooh,
can't.
that'd be
I don't
cool.
know.
I mean, they should, because that would allow them to really capitalize on all the side stories, have the time that that comic, that graphic novel deserves, to really expand on its entirety.
Watchmen TV series in the works at HBO, and this was June 20th. This was posted.
Oh shit.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, boom. And they also did a comic book series. I think it was called Before Watchmen or something.
Ooh.
And it was like about all these people in the Watchmen, and it was like their backstories, like how they became who they are. And fucking Jim Lee drew it, and he's probably one of the best artists out there.
Right on. Would you guys agree HBO does a decent job with their adaptations?
Yeah.
I think so. Or from the ones I've seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen that many of them because I don't have HBO or access to it. So
don't have HBO.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, me either.
when I was younger, my parents did. That's
I don't think I've ever had HBO.
It's rich person shit.
uh,
No, I don't know.
my parents are not rich.
I
by
know.
no
I'm
means.
just.
All right, yeah. So that's Watchmen. I haven't watched it in a while, and I think it'd be fun to watch.
It's a good one.
Well, I guess I'm last.
All right, I've been excited to hear this week's pitch from you, Bass. I wonder, are you bringing that same energy?
Oh
that same.
shit! Yeah, I got heated last
Yeah,
week.
I don't know. So, I'm pitching one of my favorite books. I think I've pitched this once before in the class before. It's one of my favorite books. I usually read it a couple times a year. It's by one of my favorite artists. I love his type of writing, how vivid he is in his writing, and just I don't know, you can really feel the emotional connection he has to his pieces. I'm pitching 1984 by George Orwell.
Ooh, I didn't know there was a movie.
Yeah, there's two. There's a black and white, and then there's also a color remake that was released in 1984.
Oh shit!
So I'm pitching the color remake released in 1984. It's a thriller drama movie, rated R, obviously. So the book was written, obviously way before 1984. This was what he thought 1984 would end up being like in the book.
The future.
Yeah. George Orwell wrote the story. The movie was directed by Michael Radford.
Michael Radford.
Yeah. It was released December 14th in 1984. And was well perceived. Hit a whole 8.4 million USD in the box office.
In '84.
Yeah.
I wonder what that is with inflation.
$1
$1 billion trillion.
And it won the NME award for best film that year as well.
Nice.
And then kind of has an overall rating of 84% between different reviews, different critics. It was a well perceived, well made movie, and it stayed very true to the book, which was one thing I really liked. So just kind of run down. A man loses his identity while living under a repressive regime. In this story, based on George Orwell's classic novel. So Winston Smith, he's a main character played by John Hurt. He works for the government, whose job involves rewriting history. And there's a quote in the story that talks about like those who have like control of the past control the future or something like that because they can rewrite the past and control the future. So his job is rewriting past history articles and stuff to make the fictional party, that he is in or lives in, look better.
Yeah, dude. It's kind of like, you ever watch Jericho?
Yeah, I've
This
seen
show?
some of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like after the fucking bombs drop and all the country divides into factions.
Yep.
Like the fucking Southwest faction is like already, they have like a printing press. And they're
Jericho was
changing,
pretty
they're
good.
like changing American history to favor them.
Damn.
And it's kind of like what Texas does anyways, right? With
Yeah.
slavery and shit. Like they don't fucking include it.
Damn. That's
Dang.
fucked up.
But so he kind of falls in love with this girl that works at the place he works at. Her name's Julia, played by Suzanne Hamilton, which in the 80s, total babe.
She's a babe. She's a fox.
She's 10 for sure.
What is that with inflation? 100 billion trillion?
Maybe. But so they kind of have this secret relationship going on, and the lawmakers in this time frown on relationships. Like you're just partnered with someone to have a kid, and there's like no emotional attachment to it. Really, the only emotion you have supposed to have is emotion towards liking your government and hating their enemies. That's why there's a thing called like 2 minutes of hate they have every day, where they like show enemies of the party, and they just yell for like 2 minutes. I'm like, fuck you, shit like that. But so in this society, Big Brother watches everybody, and there's the thought police because you commit thought crimes.
What?
And they monitor everything like 100%. There's like cameras and speakers in every room, in every building, everywhere. So they get caught. And there's these buildings, the Ministry of Love, Ministry of Peace, and the Ministry of Knowledge or something. I can't remember exact ministries, but the Ministry of Love is where they take you when you get caught and you're doing crimes against the party. And it's really crazy there. There's a lot of like myths surrounding it. And the end of the book kind of explains a lot of it to you. And I don't want to give away a lot because it's like, man, I just don't want to give away the end because it's a very moving, very philosophical part.
It sounds like the government's trying to create like this utopian society, but it's like super oppressive and fucked up.
Well, they're not even really trying to create a utopian society.
It's more dystopian.
Yeah.
Dystopian.
Yeah, okay.
It like
What's it? I don't even know.
this
The
society.
Utopian is like
Everyone's
everybody's
free.
happy. Like
Yeah.
it's supposed to be like the optimal,
Perfect.
Like,
perfect,
then-
and then dystopian's like kind of the opposite. in some
Yeah,
way.
But
I think it's interesting how it sounds like the government controls like every facet
Oh,
of
they do.
life. Like Ministry of Love and
Yeah.
Ministry of Knowledge.
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's kind of cool. I kind of like that.
and they have their own like languages, like
Newspeak
Newspeak, and like there's dictionaries
in the back of the
in the back of the book, like the
I hated
explain
that.
words. And it was so great. And then
Oh, you have to, when you're reading it, you have to like look up what these made up
Well,
words are.
Yeah,
a lot of times they
What?
explained it, but like you would go back to the book or the dictionary in the back, and it would explain certain words to you.
Fuck man, I might have
It
to
was
read
like
this.
really in depth.
Yeah, it's pretty
but I
wild.
don't think in my copy like it even told you which words were supposed to be in the back. Like it didn't like
There's no
and it-
asterisks next to it or anything.
Yeah, no. In mine, whenever I read it in high school, it didn't. So it was just really confusing. So I was like, is it just the way that language was actually back in like the 30s,
Oh, yeah,
50s
I get what you're
when it was
saying.
written, or is it like supposed to be
Yeah.
from this
But-
dictionary?
In the society, you have two types of people. There's party members, and then there's the proletariat. Proletariat lived in more of the slums area. They didn't speak in the newspeak. They kind of remember how things were before, the party became what it was. But they were like they're kind of kept drunk and inundated and just kind of kept stupid and
Are
stuff.
they given like high positions?
Who?
These people who were around before the party?
No, they're not. They're proletariat. They're like they live in the slums. They're like
Oh.
they're just kind of kept stupid. and
Fuck, dude.
and like drunk and
So that
out
they
of the
won't
way.
actually do anything to change it or to
Ah.
revolt or whatever.
Because it was better before this.
Yeah, and they're always at war with another country. It's like Oceania and Atlantica and other
Just to
countries,
maintain
and they
control.
keep changing. They keep changing throughout the book and the movie, like who they're at war with and what's
Ruled
going
by
on.
fear.
Yeah, and then
Sounds like V for Vendetta.
one of the big things they did is they would read off statistics of like supplies and stuff, like the production, how much is being produced. But what they'd do is they'd go back and edit the past history and make the values lower than they were in the past. And so the new values they could show lower, but it would look like it was actually more. And like just there's a lot of deceit. I don't know. I just really liked it a lot, and it also kind of has a lot of relevance to today's society in different
Boom.
countries.
Always with the relevance.
It is, yeah.
All right, how about we get those relevant 3 words?
Oh yeah.
Bass's 3 words.
I got paranoia, distortion, and philosophy.
Nice. I like it.
Boom.
Boom. 1984.
I think you guys will really enjoy this movie. I've watched it a lot. I've read the book a lot. I don't know. It just leaves you feeling different after you watched it.
All right, voting time.
Let's do it.
So we got fucking Secret Window, Secret Life of Alter Boys,
Dangerous
Life of Alter Boys, Watchmen, and 1984. All right, the 44th movie in the movie closet coming at you. Books to movies.
Books
All
to
right,
mouth.
first one is Secret Window. My little... I can't read what the fuck it says. Secret Window. I think there's supposed to be a funny little message on there, but I can't read it. We got one for 1984. We got one for 1984.
Oh shit, the Bass.
All right, is this the moment Bass has been waiting for so long?
Salivating.
He's been
waiting.
dreaming for it.
He's fully torqued right
Yeah,
now.
he is.
What is it?
And the deciding factor. 1984.
Oh!
Yeah.
What was the last vote? 1984.
Yeah.
Damn, you fucking
Crushed
you
it, dude.
swept it.
By the way, Matt, that says let me see that real quick. Says My Little Pony in the garden outside the secret window.
What the fuck does that?
I don't
mean?
get that, dude.
I don't know. It has secret window in it. That's all that matters.
All right, well, when you win them, you win them. You ran the gambit on the vote there.
Nicely
So-
done, Bass. Nicely done.
All right, we're gonna go watch 1984, and then we're gonna come back and try to sound intellectual. I feel like we could totally get ripped apart for doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, yeah, we'll be right back. Movie closet.
Apollo, you're sweet too.
Movie closet.
Movies.
Movie closet.
Movies.
Movie closet.
Movies.
Movie closet.
All right, we're back in the movie closet. We just watched 1984, Bass's movie.
Yeah.
Congrats on the win, Bass.
Thanks. Man, that was tough to follow.
It really was. It really was hard to follow.
It was cool, though. Did you say John Hurt was in it? Did you mention that?
Yeah, I did. Like when I was reading off who played Winston.
Man, I have an attention disorder or something.
Yeah. Hey, I have ADHD. Join the club.
It's funny that John Hurt was I guess the protagonist, because then in like V for Vendetta, which I now see is like a fucking ripoff of this book, and he's like the fucking dictator in that. He is Big Brother in that movie.
Oh, shit.
So that's kind of a cool nod.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I know I noticed a lot of movies and I guess comic books that do take cues from this one.
Yeah, I mean, this was written back in like it was like 1940s or 19 yeah, like 1939, 1940, somewhere around there.
Yeah, tough to follow for me, anyways. Mainly because that fucking constant voice in the background.
Yeah.
I guess it's part of it too.
Yeah.
They're constantly being fed misinformation.
Misinformation.
What did you guys think? Have you seen this before?
Yeah, I watched it for class and I didn't really like the movie. I like the book a lot better just because it goes into more detail.
A little
and
more
can-
clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I bet in the book that you don't have fucking people talking and the TV's playing at the same time.
Right.
No.
But I enjoy this story. I do like the end where they kind of betray like each other and what they actually feel.
Yeah, the government
Yeah.
won.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuckers.
And I also liked the kind of the part where in room 101 or whatever, it's like your worst fear of like how like the worst way to die. And I
Mhm.
thought that was really interesting that his worst way to die was like rats.
So it was
because
his
that's how
mom
his-
killed by rats? Is
I
that what the
don't-
thing was?
I don't know if she
Yeah,
was killed by
must have-
rats or if she was just like killed and then like eaten by
Eaten by
rats.
rats.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like,
But-
'cause that's one thing always puzzled me with his mom and sister, because one, they disappear, but you don't know why, and then second off, he never mentions his father, so who raised him the rest of his life?
He was raising the projects. The projects. The streets.
Oh, something mentioned in the end credits I was saying on the way in here. This movie was shot in London in April of the year 1984, as depicted by George Orwell in the book. So it was like period. Like they made sure that it was like period setting, period time based on the book for where they shot it.
There's a black and white version of this.
Yeah, I believe there was like a movie before this that was in black and white. I
Okay, so
can't-
this one is a whole different movie than the black and white one.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I faintly remember black and white one, but I'm not sure. Hold up. Okay, yeah, 1984. There's one that was released in 1956.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the original version was released in 1956. Hour and a half movie with Edmund O'Brien, Michael Redgrave, Jan Sterling, Donald Pleasance. Maybe some of these people's are older audience. Some of these actors are older audience may recognize. I believe at the end of this one, they Winston and Julia see each other at the train station, and don't really recognize each other and just kind of keep on walking.
Yeah.
That's what I faintly remember. I don't know. I may be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen the black and white one.
So yeah, basically, these fuckers. These what's the name of the government? It's something weird.
It's like
Ignoc or
It's
something.
Ingsoc.
Yeah.
Ingsoc.
It's like
Yeah.
English socialism.
Mm.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're like fucking Nazis and communists put together.
Yeah.
And they just
But it's really like an oligarchy.
no. Oligarchy is multiple leaders, isn't it?
Yeah, there's like multiple rich leaders like on the inner party that run it, but it kind of looks like
The face is Big Brother.
yeah,
So why the fuck did he give him that book then?
because that was the book of Emmanuel Goldstein, quote unquote, the person
that
that's
guy's not
leading
real,
the
right?
rebellion, and it explains everything. And like
Oh, he was
explains,
explaining how they run it.
yeah,
Okay.
it explains like what their society actually is and how it operates.
Gotcha.
And
Alright.
is there as more of a kind of like an item to help add a physical presence to the false resistance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was about to touch on that. So yeah, everything's fabricated for them to maintain control. Like there is no war. There is no resistance. There is no resistance leader. And so there really is no, I guess there is kind of a big brother if they're still running the show.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really go into depth and how the inner party works. I mean, there's a lot of discussions and stuff online you can read. It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. That didn't really seem what the story was about to
no,
me.
not at all.
So I mean, it'd be cool to know, but I don't think you need to.
No, you don't. It's just kind of something that, the movie definitely leaves you with some questions.
Yeah. So their main goal is to basically just strip everyone of individuality.
Yeah, become like a
Collective consciousness.
yeah, kind of become a collective. And the outer party are supposed to basically just be drones. Then the inner party are the more privileged, and then supposedly there's like a super super secret like inner party, but mainly it's just inner party and outer party.
No, but yeah, I did like the whole Winston's tale. He got played from the start.
Yeah,
They just reusing him to make an example out of, I guess.
pretty much. Well, thought crime.
Yeah,
it's
what was the
thought
deal with
crime.
thought crime? So
Yeah.
they know what you're thinking, or is that just a word they use to charge somebody?
That's just what they use if they find out that you are. I don't know. I don't think that they can see what you're thinking, but if you act on what you're thinking,
Yeah,
that's kind of what it is.
if you act on what you're thinking, or like towards the end, it's not more of just if you act on what you're thinking, but actually what you are thinking.
Well, how do they know what you're thinking?
They don't really know what you're thinking until you act on it, but once you act on it, they know that you're thinking this way. Kind of how Winston at the end, even though Winston's like, I don't know if that's 4 or 5. What do you want me to answer? He did act on his thinking, but now they're trying to change his thinking completely. So it's more of if making sure that you think think the same as the parties.
You believe what they
And you
want you to
believe
believe.
yeah, you don't have any of your own individual
yeah.
thought on it.
So they don't. They're basically accusing you of thinking things,
Yes.
and then they'll use that to fuck you.
Yeah, and
Like that guy whose fucking kid turned him in. That was pretty cold.
Yeah,
His cellmate.
Yeah.
That would suck.
yeah, and there's also his neighbor, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Like, I know in the book they say like, yeah, kids are really good at picking out thought criminals. If
yeah,
I'm
because that's all that they know is
Yeah.
like that world.
They're
Because they were
brainwashed.
born into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, they're like they're dressed like Hitler Youth. I thought that was
Yep.
a nice touch.
Yeah, the whole thing was seemed like it was a nod to, or there was like making it look like Nazis, like the fucking big brother figure that
Yeah.
he always
I
looked
mean-
like Hitler. I mean, at the beginning they
that's what
even
the book,
used like that red font.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
made me think of Nazis.
I mean, that's when
Well-
the book was written.
Yeah, and Orwell always does that. Like he
Yeah.
always bases his books off of like specific dictators and stuff.
Mm,
Like how like an Animal Farm, like every one of those is like based off
Yeah.
of one.
Napoleon.
Thought crimes. I mean, there's been a lot of movies I've watched kind of that also pays homage to this, like stuff like Equilibrium or Aeon Flux or some other movies.
Flux.
Like, they just kind of pay homage to like being part of society, being complacent to society.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what his fear was. He was like worried, that this is what George Orwell thought in 1984 would be like.
He was
After the
way
war.
off.
Oh yeah, he was
Well,
partially off.
well, I think it was more like this is what it would be like if this outcome of the war happens, which is like if Germany like or whatever like wins.
I
Like
took
it was more of a warning rather
Yeah.
than like a prediction.
Yeah,
I took it more. I could definitely see that. Because that would be how it was because they were so hardcore into propaganda and controlling people.
Mhm.
But then it's also kind of from a standpoint of nuclear war too, to where anyone could just step in. There'd be a big power vacuum there.
Yeah.
And then another thing that seemed to bother me, so the they changed the past newspapers and shit to fit their narrative,
Mm-hmm.
and that just couldn't happen today because the internet, everything's just out there. I feel like it would be hard. I feel like in that world they were in too, it'd be hard to get your hands on a newspaper, and they did allude to a lot of people being illiterate,
Yeah.
so they can't read anyway. But now in like today's age, like everything's just out there. I mean, and sure, who knows what is true? Like, there's definitely a lot.
Fake news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fake news. Like, there's definitely like it gives everyone a platform to say what they want, but there's just no way you could change it to one story. Like, this is
Yeah.
what it should be, especially with like everyone's got a video camera now, too. So like, whatever happened would be out there, and I don't think you could change it like that.
Yeah, I mean, for the time period it was written in, it's definitely a possibility. Now, these days, it'd be v- it'd be slim to none. I mean, I'm sure if there was an agency strong enough and powerful enough, they could start swinging something over like a generation's worth of time, maybe, but definitely it'd be very slim to none.
Mm-hmm.
But who's to say? I mean, we're not being manipulated already. I mean, we've been in constant state of war for a very long time.
Constant war. No, yeah, I mean, there's definitely some
Shit that definitely rings true.
Yeah,
manipulation.
and maybe it wasn't even just a homage completely to, or maybe not just a complete warning of this will happen if, you know, the Nazis had won World War II, but maybe of just like the path our societies are going. This is how it could become in the worst case.
Right.
For
Overall,
sure.
it's just like a warning.
Yeah, that's what the book is, just a warning.
And that's why a bunch of people are buying it now.
Or what?
Are purchasing 1984 now.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it actually has surged in sales.
Yeah, it's like a huge thing.
Yeah.
No, it did do. What I really liked was how like So you got this guy. What was his name again? Main dude.
Winston.
Winston. Yeah. So he's kind of like you get the sense from the beginning that he's like not down with this shit, this government. Like he's sick of it, you know. And you get this fucking sense of anxiety because he's alone, and he just looks like super sad all the time, you know, and like he feels like so isolated and alone because he thinks this way. But then he meets this girl who like is the same way, and that's when you realize like, oh, other people do think like me.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a cool little.
Oh, that's really cool.
Because I mean, that's how anxiety is, you know. Like you think it's just you, and you
But-
don't ever talk about it.
Yeah.
But there are other people that think that way for sure.
It's a good segue to the room, not quite 101, but before that, when he's talking to him, when he says you're mentally deranged and ill, he's felt like that since he was a child. So he's been a thought criminal since he was a child.
Because he had thoughts.
He's a free thinker.
But it also came from time because in the book he's like in his like 50s or 60s almost, or no, 40s and 50s, I think.
Well, he's he's younger than 45 because remember the toe
Yeah.
touching.
Oh
thing?
yeah, that's right. That's
If
right.
you're younger than 45, you
Mhm.
should be able to do that.
Yeah, I think he's in his 40s.
Well, yeah, he's like pushing that.
Pushing 45. But so his mom, I think if I remember right, sometime in the book it talks about his mom remembers what it was partially like before the party. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've read the book last. I do read it often, but I don't have it memorized yet. Working on it. But there's a time I think his mom like remembered before the party because the party is really not that old. It's only technically like 40 something years old.
He's a kid during the war,
Yeah.
he said. Another cool thing too I noticed was when they were torturing him, and you go through that whole spiel about they're making you believe what they want you to believe,
Yeah.
their reality.
Yeah.
And when he gave him that moment to ask questions, he actually never asked him what was in the room. That dude brought it up.
Yeah.
And then when he had the rats and when he's about to take him in there, he's like, "You remember when you asked me what was in the room?"
Yeah.
And he actually like never fucking asked him what was in there.
Yeah, I know.
So I thought that was a cool, like, they're even doing it in the movie.
Yeah.
And I couldn't keep track of all that who we're at war with shit. But I bet that whole thing changed every time they brought it up.
Yeah, it did.
Like who they were at war with. Because I couldn't follow it completely because I couldn't understand that woman on the tube. And then when that same guy was torturing him who gave him the book, he could like turn off the TV, and that like blew Winston's mind.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, you can turn it off? What the fuck?" But he's just getting played, son.
Yeah.
I thought the chick was gonna be working for the government, not everybody else he ever fucking talked to,
Right.
Yeah.
which was dope. I mean, it was so everything was a facade. All the contraband he was buying from that guy in the shop, he was working for the government.
Yeah.
He was they were just all setting him up.
It's like the guy in the shop. Like it makes me think the guy in the shop, maybe the shop's there to catch.
Yeah,
thought
that's what I was just
criminals.
gonna say. It's to weed out the thought criminals, dare I say.
Gotta line them all up and start playing Goofy Goober. We
Yeah.
know how to weed out the sissies.
This one, it's tough to digest this movie.
It really is. It's
Definitely helps if you've read it.
yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. I was
Like,
like,
recently, because I think I read it like 1.5 times, but it was still been since I was like 18. So it's been a while.
Oh, I will find you my copy.
I have a copy. I
Oh, you
actually
do?
like took my school's copy
Yeah.
because it was falling apart and she let me keep it. So
Yeah.
thanks, Mrs. Noonan.
I gotta find where my copy's laying around.
Was
I got
he
a
in the
hardback.
fucking? Was he in that room the whole movie, just remembering everything that happened?
It's a possibility.
Because he kept having those visions of the fucking the door, the 101 door. He was like having that vision like the whole movie of him opening the door to the fields.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Nice.
And then, when he starts writing the book, he's like, before I even put pen to paper, I was a thought criminal. That is a really good question.
Was he trying to answer 2 + 2 is 4 at the end,
Yeah.
yeah.
but he couldn't, or he wouldn't?
I
Or
don't
did
know.
he?
He
Did
got
he know?
Yes.
interrupted.
Yeah,
I don't know.
on the chessboard, and he kept making the same move back and forth
Mhm.
because he was like so unsure about. They just
Everything.
scrambled his brain.
Yeah.
I like when they got caught. Every word him and Julia said, the announcers said a second later.
Yeah, what was
And,
up with that shit?
Like they already, that may even push more that he was just remembering it because they already knew exactly what they're going to say.
Yeah.
Or what was going to happen. So, I mean, maybe that's making more of a possibility that this whole thing was just a remembrance.
Yeah, it was him remembering what happened. And maybe that's why he kept having those visions, because
Yeah.
they were fucking with his head.
That's trippy. Whoa,
It's-
bro.
The end is interesting though, how they
Mindfuck.
get to meet up again.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we must meet up again. But they're in love with the party, and they're like, yeah, I sold you out. And they're like, basically like, thank you for selling me out.
Well, no, he's about to be shot, isn't he?
Well,
'Cause
maybe.
he confessed on the tube, and then he said he was gonna shoot him after it was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was she? Is she gonna get shot too?
Maybe that's why he said this is on the house when they were pouring the drinks. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
All right. Well, 1984, some hardcore shit. Mind control.
Watch it. Get your mind blown. Make
Read
you
it.
question
Read it first.
reality. Yeah. Read it.
Yeah, I would read Because when I read it in high school, we read the dictionary first. We just like read through all the words just so you could kind of recognize them in the book, but it still didn't really help that much.
Yeah. And then once you've read the book and then watched the movie, prepare to have your mind blown, make you question our own reality right now.
All right, let's get the wheel out.
Oh, yeah.
Damn,
Who's
long
getting
time coming,
knocked off?
Bass.
I get to reclaim my second spot that disappeared while I was off an episode.
Who's it gonna be?
Savor it, man. Savor this moment.
Was it me? You fucker.
Hey, it's just because it's on the other side from my name. So
Oh yeah, is it?
of a higher likelihood of if
Is
there's a
it Bass?
tie.
Yeah. I'm gonna massacre you. Boom, boom. All right. Well, this was episode 44 of the Movie Closets. You can find us on extratone.com. We're on YouTube at Spanktervision. Just look for the Bleh TV. And let us know some of your favorite movies based off books. Maybe you can help me understand what the fuck happened in 1984 and explain it a little better. Just let us know. And come back next week for our 1 year anniversary bonanza.
1 year old.
But yeah, just follow any of us. Or do we all have Twitter?
No.
Well, just follow me on Twitter and I'll keep you posted on what's going down there. So yeah, Monday, July 10th, it's fucking going down.
We're going live.
6 it is.
5
You're all
45.
always late anyways.
Yeah.
So 6 p.m. Central, Monday, July 10th, Movie Closet 1 year extravaganza bonanza live stream event.
I'd like to shoot a shout out to my coworker Mike for covering me for a couple hours of on call so I can do my part in the 1 year anniversary. Thanks.
Thanks, Mike.
And remember, Big Brother's watching.
Boom.
Yes.